I am curious because through our engagement of coordinating having you on the show today, not surprised, being an Olympian, you train quite a bit. And so what does the average day look like for an Olympian, for you? Let's talk to you, of course, but this is going to give us an idea of what an average day looks like for an Olympian. Obviously, you're still young. You're going to the University of Utah, right?
Right, yeah.
So what does that look like?
Oh man, okay, so, let's say that I wasn't on the show on Fridays.
Okay.
So I would go to practice. Okay, so I wake up at like 7:30.
Okay.
7:30 to 8.
Uh-huh.
I'm supposed to leave the house at 8, but I sometimes wake up at 8 o'clock. So yeah, and then I get to the rink at like 8:30, 8:25-ish.
Yeah.
And then I warm up until we warm up until like 9:15 or like 9 o'clock, and so then we get ready, and so that takes about like 15 minutes, and then we get on the ice. We get on the ice from like 9:15 to around like 10:30 to 11.
Okay.
And then, so I have class from 11:40 to 12:40 or something like that, or like 1 o'clock. I don't remember. I just go to class until it's finished. But yeah, so I go to class so I leave the rink, depending on whether or not we have like dry land or something.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't do dry land on Fridays because I have class like 40 minutes before or after practice ends. Okay. Yeah, so I go to class, and so that's like takes like around like 30 minute drive. So I arrive around like 11:30, 11:40, and I go to class from whatever time to whatever time, and then I come back. And I either do, we either have like weights or another ice session, or like a session that we do on our own, which is like a bike ride or like a run or something. And then I would usually do like something extra just like to like make myself feel like a little better about my training, and so I just like do something extra, and then I go back. So around this, it's around like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then the rest of the time I just like do homework.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's fun times. And then especially when we have like double ice, like I would probably be back home around like 5 or 6 o'clock. Okay. Just depending on what time like practice ended. Yeah. If it ended at 4:30 exactly, then I would probably be home around 6. But if it ended at like 4 o'clock, I'd probably be home at like 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's twice a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And when you say go run or go bike, are you literally riding a bike on the streets?
Oh. Yeah. So I do stationary bike because I cannot ride a bike on the road because I will 100% die. Like, actually, 100% die, because I don't know, I just get too scared. Sure. To be in the road, and I know how, like, some people drive, and I'm just like,
they're texting. They're not driving and looking out the window, they're looking down at their phone.
Right, exactly. I'm just like, I cannot, like, have myself on there, like, on the road. And I honestly feel like riding on the stationary bike is a little bit harder than riding on the road, so I just do it on the stationary.
Nice. And as far as running, is that treadmill or is that sprints? Or?
So it can be either like sprinting or running around the track. I don't use a treadmill because I just feel like it's a little boring. Like it's just like staying in one place for like 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. Yeah. So for me, I just like either like to run around the track, even though that can be repetitive or whatever. Sure. I like it a little bit better. Like it's different scenery every single corner. Yeah. And then for sprints, like I like doing sprints, but only to a certain extent because I get tired after like 2 sets of the sprints. And then afterwards, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. But yeah.
Got it. And do you just do that at the U?
So I do it up at the rink. Oh. So at the rink. Last season, I would do it at the U because like I would like go up to the U almost every day for class. Yeah. And then when I was living at the dorms, like there's a gym in every single dormitory. Yeah. Down in the basement, so I would just like use that. So. Got it.
And there's a track then at the rink?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There's a track. So there's the short track rink, and then there's the hockey rink, and then there's the long track rink around both the hockey rink, and then outside of that is the running track.
Oh. Didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty big.
How far will you run? A mile, 2 miles, 3 miles?
Around 2 miles, 2.5 miles.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm not a very good runner, like I said, and I don't really like running. So like my fastest like mile I think is like 7:50 or something.
That's still pretty fast.
After that I am dead. I'm dying. But yeah, so like my regular like pacing mile or whatever is like 10 minutes, 9 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's not that fast, but I like it. It's nice and controlled. So.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. We had Stone Azarcon, who's the safety for the University of Utah. Tyrone Smith, who's the receiver for the University of Utah. On separate occasions, they were guests on the show, but I got to go watch them train. They just went to Olympus High School. They do training outside of their training with their team. Because they're both trying to get faster.
And better,
yeah. But they're all sprints. I was going to say, if you do a lot of sprinting, I should put you guys together because then you can train with them.
You know, actually, because I'm trying to work more on my starts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like, because I've heard that football players are like very, like they sometimes have like a track background.
Yes, yeah.
And so I feel like having like, even though I know that I would get beat by any track athlete, like I would love to like learn about like their form and stuff and like translate that onto the ice, because I do feel like there is like a certain like amount of like knee or like technique or stuff knee or technique and stuff like that goes onto like starts and stuff that would make me faster. So I would totally be down for that.
I'll have to connect the three of you guys. I know the Pac-12 just decided to have a full season, so I don't know how much training they're going to do outside of training. This was like before the season started. They would go to practice, and I was so impressed. You know, they'd go to practice, and then they would go and practice themselves again.
Wow!
And it was fun. We got to follow them around and watch them train. But I'll put that. I'll get you guys connected, because if they do go to they go to Highland, Skyline, and Olympus typically.
Oh, okay.
And use those tracks.
Oh, I know where. I used to live close to Skyline, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's like maybe like 10 minutes away from the U, right?
Yeah.
So I used to live around there. So
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.